In fact, when members' attention was drawn to this, I can tell you on authority that majority of MPs were disappointed that people even considered that, MPs and ministers and deputy ministers should be allowed by law to install these things in their cars.
In fact, to be exempted
from speed limits. In fact, majority. Why
must a minister be exempted from speed limits?
I'm being honest.
Why must a deputy minister be exempted from speed limits?
Majority.
Why must be a judge exempted from speed limits?
A majority of members were appalled. Majority of members were appalled. And so that is what culminated even in the press statement that came out from the minority leader, stating the position of the majority of minority members. Can I put it that way? Majority of the minority members.
Because there were
it was reflecting
who were in support of this.
That's what I said. At the committee level,
some majority.
At the committee level,
in fact,
it is usually less than 30 members.
Yes. Granted an interview
where
he said that he even asked them to add doctors.
Yes.
And the issue,
doctors.
Yes, because
but they also
because his point was that
essential service.
His point was that.
How about the cleaner at the hospital?
No, I'm coming. Yeah. The point he made was
those
that
are the issues.
If the ambulance is exempted, in order to facilitate the easy passage of the person who requires medical attention,
there and the doctor,
and the person gets to the theater,
and the doctor
who must attend to the person is caught up in traffic, what will be the point? And he says that at the committee level, so that's him speaking, he says at the committee level, they said, how will you be able to determine a doctor who's on call?
Yes. But it's the same thing. How do you determine a politician who is on duty?
Or who even has an emergency?
I mean, those are the things.
How do you determine that the deputy minister has an emergency or a minister has an emergency?
So Randy,
or high court judge has an emergency?
My conclusion on this is that, you see, when these issues come up, I understand the emotions. But it is important that we take our time to understand the processes and the procedures, and then challenge it on the basis of logic and not just raw emotions. Because the fact is that you may even be angry with someone who is sharing the same opinion as you.
Yeah, but the fact
that I'm a member of parliament does not mean.
For what we know,
yes,
the thing went to parliament.
Yes,
and parliament does not have a problem with the laying of it in parliament.
That's why I'm telling you that the processes, Randy, that's why I said there's a low level of education on the processes that each
we don't have a problem. We expect that. Listen,
absolutely,
we expect that when the appointments committee.
And I appreciate. Randy, it's not like I'm criticizing the uproar. I appreciate that uproar. In fact, I'm one of the people who have always said that I think that Ghana is doing better because of the noise we make. When you compare us to other, neighboring countries, I like the fact that people criticize, loudly, because it puts duty bearers, on their toes to respond to those public outbursts. And when we get so silent and too quiet, that's why some of us get worried and criticize, agencies and institutions that used to be very vociferous in demanding good governance. Why they are quiet.
I'm sure that if the L.I, for example, had added the vice president, the speaker,
that would have been end of story.
Nobody would have even complained.
And the minister brought to parliament.
What the minister brought included ministers
and deputy ministers.
Deputy ministers. Yes. And judges of the Superior Court. So high court judges, appeal court judges, and Supreme Court judges.
MPs rank about the same as high court.
So I'm saying, so that is why you have MPs. But for many Ghanaians, the point is that
that's the case. Why do you
look? All this thing is pretty obvious that people want a way out of the excruciating traffic.
Exactly.
You see,
that's so people think
if we have elected
you to solve the problem,
to go and solve the problem, you want
for a way out,
so that you don't experience what we experience. That is where the outrage is from.
Obviously.
So if you don't experience it, how will you
in fact,
go and take a decision to resolve it fast?
There's an existing arrangement. I don't know if it is law, but there's an existing arrangement. When members of parliament, ministers of states, and deputy ministers, when they have an emergency, they can arrange for a dispatch escort. You just have to call.
Because you have a parliamentary
police we have a police station there.
In fact,
so I don't know why you want to install it in your car so you can use it at will.
Even the vice president, the speaker, the CJ, they've been provided with their dispatch and police, whatever. They have it. We all know.
Yeah.
So what really is the point?
The point.
And putting it.
Yeah. What really is the point?
You see, Randy,
it was not well.
I am an
unapologetic
supporter of Parliament of Ghana. But in this instance, just like a moment ago, I praised Parliament for responding to the times. I think that Parliament got it wrong. They didn't feel the temperature of the people, and it's dangerous for democracy. Like you're saying, for a body and for people who have been elected to help solve our problems, they are looking for an easy way out. Then why won't all 30 million Ghanaians be given sirens so we all blow sirens on the road?
What about the...
When I was a member of Parliament,
I
never for any day needed the installation of siren in my car. I never did.
So Fuzeni,
but maybe my situation was unique because of where I lived and why.
Fuzeni, why will...
situation is not unique.
Why will government...
I've never used
Fuzeni, why will government think that ministers and deputy ministers and judges from High Court up until Supreme Court must be legalized to fix sirens and be exempted from speed limits?
So those are different arms of government, right, to start with. I can rationalize, and I am not too privy to what went into that decision to put that class of Article 71 of his holders.
No, I'm just saying that it is pretty obvious that it's pretty obvious that it's the inclusion of those people that made the MPs.
Rationalize
yes, that MPs think that why do you need the
there are three arms of government,
I can understand that.
And the three arms are supposed, as we're taught in school, to operate at the same level. None is.
So why do you cater for the judiciary?
So why do you say that judges can use it, the executive can use it, but the legislature can't use it? That was the problem.
I think that's a valid point. That's a valid point because I can really see how I can put a High Court judge above a member of Parliament. The only difference is that they are probably career people, and a member of Parliament is elected, and I have to go to the people every 4 years to renew their mandate. So those are.
So you put a deputy minister above an MP. Yeah.
But even when it comes to salary, scales, the deputy minister is above the.
A deputy minister non-MP.
No,
maybe
MP no.
You're talking about deputy minister MP. That's different. But there are deputy ministers who are not MPs.
Yeah, so they take lower.
They take lower than MPs. That I have to clarify. But this whole thing, then again, I mean, MPs have made a point that whenever there are uproars or brouhahas like this, the legislature is a very easy target. Easy target. Nobody's making noise about the minister and or the deputy minister, or even the judges.
Yeah. But
nobody's making noise about them. But you see, the difference is that
because we elect you.
The difference is that
so we have a direct,
and you are to represent our interests. So when you go and you are hobnobbing with those we elected you to protect us.
The difference is that
we have the right to.
The minister or deputy minister serves at the convenience of the president. The High Court judge actually comes to the system. Nobody holds them responsible once they are doing their work as a judiciary. But you, the MP, has been elected to serve as an oversight on the public purse and ensure that the right things are done to resolve the challenges that ordinary Ghanaians are having. So they are different people. So the fact that the minister is there who is serving at the convenience of the president, he can be appointed and disappointed at any time that the president deems fit. But you, the MP, you are supposed to be there. You have been entrusted with the role to serve as an oversight on all our resources to ensure that our lives get better. And so you are held in a higher. I mean, more is required from the MP. That is why the public will most of the time target the MPs because of the role and the trust that the people of Ghana have entrusted into this MPs. Simple. I think that Parliament probably did not feel the temperature. But Randy, then again, when you look at the chronology of events that led to the laying of this, for me, what I've known is that when LIs or CIs come to Parliament does very little to affect its content. I'm not too sure what's transpired in the 8th Parliament, such that this pre-laying thing has become a convention, because I don't think it's supported by any legislation. But then again, Parliament is a master of its own laws. So if Parliament thinks that going forward, for us to forestall because of the experiences we had probably in the summer parliament regarding certain particular LIs and CIs that came to parliament. Now let's have a look at it. And then parliament will, over time, because you see, the reality is that sometimes, and I should say, most times, parliament works because there's negotiations, there has to be agreement on most of the issues. And so somebody will say, okay, give me this, and so I'll allow you to do this and all of that. It's all legit, and it's what is accepted in parliamentary practice. So maybe somebody had held somebody's, to be able to put those requirements in there. But clearly, the intention of the minister coming into parliament did not include MPs. Did not include MPs, clearly. Clearly. But this is where we are. Thankfully for me, we have moved on. Parliament is heard what the public has said. The LI has been withdrawn. I'm looking forward to us coming to some sort of negotiated settlement such that this LI is revised and placed back for us to get to the required results that we seek. For me, it's been withdrawn. Let tempest come down. And I'm sure Parliament is being responsive to Ghanaians. They are listening. That is how come this is being withdrawn. Because my support for Parliament
it was withdrawn by government, not Parliament.
Of course, but of course, if the noise are not
and it is not to suggest that if government can return with the LI and exempt only MPs, and that once MPs are not on it, people will not have a problem with it.
Certainly. Like you were making a point that honorable appeal could be made. If ambulances are on there, then why not doctors? And so I will even go further and say, if doctors are on there, why not nurses? And if nurses are on there, why not the janitors are there?
Then we'll be getting into the realm of
that is where we'll get absurdity. We'll be getting
anesthesia
or whatever. Yes. We'll be getting to the realm of absurdity. Right? We'll be getting to the realm of absurdity. So that is where we have to cut us.
The disappointment is that when people have elected you to go and represent their interest, in fact, you come to beg the people to give you a job. From the president to...
Right, please. You go to the people.
You come and beg for a job.
It's true.
You see, it's true.
Whether you are running for president...
the president was telling us he was begging. Even
which president was in his house and the people of Ghana went to him and went to beg him to come and be president? So when you have begged the people of Ghana and you have told them that, look, myself and my group, we have what it takes to alleviate your suffering and to make things better for you. And they give you that opportunity, whether you're in the executive or the legislature. And then there is a problem that keeps degenerating. And instead of you solving the problem, they see that already you are using influence to skirt around the problem for yourself. And yesterday I said that all of us, on some occasions, we try and find if it is possible to get a dispatch to navigate with us. I won't sit here and say that I have never used that route to escape. Yes, to escape traffic.
Your platform affords you.
So when the people realize that these people who came to beg us, and we gave them the opportunity, instead of solving this problem that keeps degenerating, they are actually legislating to escape the problem, to be comfortable around the problem. I mean, how do you expect them to take it? How do you expect them to take it? So if the minister and the deputy minister is not experiencing what I'm experiencing,
why would they find a need?
Yes, why would they find a need to solve the problem?